Today, I'm going to be talking about how the knife in the remake is different from the original Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Based on the recent Resident Evil 4 Remake gameplay, only the defensive functions of the knife are shown so far. Just like in the Resident Evil 2 Remake, the knife has a durability bar, but it is different from the unbreakable knife of the original Resident Evil 4. However, unlike Resident Evil 2 Remake, Leon can enhance the knife's power and durability by tuning it with the merchant, as well as repairing the knife to restore its durability. Also, unlike the original Resident Evil 4, the knife in the remake takes up space in Leon's inventory. However, in Resident Evil 4 Remake, Leon has learned new knife technique as well as improved his previous technique. The first knife mechanic is the R2 push-back mechanic similar to the RE2 Remake. After an enemy grabs Leon, player immediately has the option to stab the creature with R2 to free Leon from the Ganado's grab. In this case, the creature is then stunned momentarily, and Leon then has an option of running away. In RE4 Remake, Leon has the additional option of pressing X repeatedly to free Leon from the Ganado's grab while losing some health. Anyway, neither of the options allow Leon to knock down the enemy with a roundhouse kick, unlike another option that I will discuss later. Unlike in Resident Evil 2, Leon no longer leave the knife on the creature and then retrieve it later. Leon will always pull out the knife, and he is ready to use it again. Remember to like and subscribe. In the second knife mechanic, after Leon successfully knocks an enemy down, an arrow indicator will appear on the enemy to show an option to do a finishing move on the knockdown Ganados. With just a single button pressed, Leon will swiftly perform a quick stab to finish the enemy. This is different than the original Resident Evil 4, where the player has to hold the L1 button, and then repeatedly press the X button to knife the knockdown Ganado to finish it. Notice that finishing move can only be done on knockdown enemies after Leon flips the enemy after getting out of a full Nelson. In the third and last mechanic, Leon can't perform a parry to counter the Ganado's attacks. In this scenario, Leon has a split second before the Ganados lands the attack on Leon to parry with the L1 button press. The knife icon is highlighted in gray with an L1 icon next to it. This mechanic is the most advanced defensive strategy of all three defensive mechanic, as you have to time it perfectly. As compared to the first and second mechanic, the third mechanic uses less durability and gives the player an option to roundhouse kick the enemy. However, notice that this parry is different from the famous chainsaw parry. During the chainsaw parry, another L1 indicator in red appears. Furthermore, parrying the chainsaw will deplete all of the knife's durability. So to me, parrying the chainsaw looks amazing, but it is not worth it, and players should avoid parrying the chainsaw at all costs. Instead, player can just simply dodge the attack. One last interesting thing I want to discuss is the prospect of having multiple different knives. Since Leon can always repair the durability of his combat knife, there is no reason to dispose the one knife he has since his day at the Raccoon Police Department. However, another reason for having multiple knives is if you remember after the fight with Krauser in the original game, Leon picks up Krauser's knife and later uses the knife to free Ada from Lord Sadler. If Leon is still able to pick up Krauser's knife in the remake, there is a chance that Krauser's knife may be in Leon's inventory, and Leon can use it. Also, in the latest IGN interview, the producer comments that Kazunori Kato is supervising gameplay elements, and he's quite fixated on the knife. His obsession with the knife can lead to more unique use of the knife and increase the variety of playstyles. The last reason why it is very possible to have different knives is that if you compare the original merchant to the new merchant, you will see that the new merchant also carries two other knives with him that have a good chance of being for sale. These two knives here have different handles and are shaped differently compared to the combat knife with a sharp blade on one side and a saw edge on the other side. In fact, in one of the crafting scene, you can see there are two other knives different from that of Leon's combat knife. The first knife here looks like this knife, but this knife here has a bulge in the middle, so it does not look like this knife with a little slanted edge at the end, or Leon's combat knife with the saw edge. In conclusion, RE4 knife improves on the Resident Evil 2 Remake's knife, and provides more strategy than the original game. We have also seen the knife used as a defensive weapon, but we yet see how the knife is being used as an offensive weapon. Lastly, we see a possibility of having different knives. I hope you liked today's content. Please remember to like and subscribe to see more content like this.